Hello and welcome into the Devils in Detail post-game show. I'm Hunter Robinson, joined by Sam Ficarro and Zach Pekale. Now, the Sun Devils did not come out on top tonight. They lost 37-32 to the Washington State Cougars. And we saw Manny Wilkins go down early in the game, Sam, and we saw Dylan Sterling Cole come in. How do you think he performed tonight, having his first game where he actually had more than just one drive to prove himself?
I think Dylan struggled, as any quarterback would have been thrown into the fold like this. Wilkins got hurt on the last tackle he took on the opening touchdown drive, and Graham said post-game that it was just difficult for ASU to generate any explosive plays. That's why they relied so heavily on trick plays and the Sparky formation to really gain some big plays. I noticed during the game that Dylan was rolling out of the pocket a lot, and he was throwing a lot of off targets early, but he did get better as the game progressed. N'Keal Harry made a couple of big catches in tight spaces with defenders on him. So I thought Dylan played okay, but obviously ASU missed Wilkins not being out there.
And then, Zach, right before the end of the first half, with just under a minute to go, ASU got the ball back at their own 30. They had all three of their timeouts, and Todd Graham elected just to run the clock out. Why do you think that was?
Well, I mean, at the post-game press conference, Graham specifically said that his team was about ready to go into half, find new energy, and come out in the third quarter. But in my opinion, I think with two dynamic backs, and Richard and Balazs, who both had a lot of success finding space between the tackles and on the outside tonight, it would have at least made sense for them to try and get Zane Gonzalez into field goal range. He is the best kicker in the NCAA. So I think it's a little bit of a poor judgment call on Graham to elect to just go into the half when he has all three of his timeouts. And even if Sterling Cole is in at quarterback, you have an opportunity to get downfield and make a play and cut the deficit.
And then, Sam, tonight, the defensive line for ASU played surprisingly well. They seem to be the one unit for ASU that's kept getting better and better as the season has progressed. What did you see from them tonight that's something that they can hang their hat on?
Well, they were able to get a ton of pressure on Luke Falk. That last week they got shredded up the middle. Philip Lindsay of Colorado ran over them last week. I thought they did a better job winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. And Karan Crump had a massive game, multiple sacks, forced a fumble. Unfortunately, ASU couldn't recover it. That would have flipped the game big time for the Sun Devils. But I did like the defensive line improved a ton, and it's just unfortunate it didn't matter in the end.
And then finally, Zach, ASU secondary again this seems to be a trend with them where they have a game where they perform decent in UCLA, but then they seem to revert back to their, I guess you could call it their old self. What do you think that they need to work on this upcoming week in practice to make it so that they actually can have some sort of improvement facing an Oregon team that's hungry for a victory?
Well, I mean, you're working with a secondary core of Kareem Moore, who's just a true sophomore, and Deshaun Gumpay, who is a converted offensive utility player. So you're already working with a very inexperienced young group of guys. I mean, Marcus Ball, again, played very well at bandit safety. And then you had Lau Mokiola, who almost came up with a pick. And then another play downfield where Chad Adams comes away with almost another near interception, or barrels it to him, and it's an incomplete pass. So, I mean, the defensive line has proven itself, and now all eyes are really on the secondary to improve. It's almost like you can't really teach this week to week. It's more of a season in, season out type of thing. And at this point in the season, Todd Graham kind of just has to work with what he has.
All right, and then Sam, last question here. So you talked about it, Dylan Sterling Cole. So let's say that Manny Wilkins this week, he's unable to play. Again, there's been nothing confirmed yet. Todd Graham hasn't confirmed anything. I know that there have been some reports that it was something going on with his right arm, some other people saying that it was his ribs. So no confirmation yet. I'm sure that will be forthcoming later this week. So Dylan Sterling Cole, he gets all of the first-team reps this week. Do you think that he'll be a different quarterback next week?
It's difficult. He's a very young quarterback. He's a true freshman. So we'll see. He could definitely learn from this game. He actually has a full game to evaluate his performance. The receivers could have a little chemistry with him. And next week, they hopefully won't be as reliant on the Sparky formation. Because Sparky formation can only do so much, as Graham said tonight. He kept them in the game, but it couldn't win them the game. So, yeah, so I do think Sterling Cole will improve next week. But it's still going to be a tough task going to a hostile environment in Oregon. As you said, who is very hungry for a win.
Alrighty, so again, ASU cannot come out with the victory tonight. They lost the game 37-32 to become 5-3 on the season. Next week they'll be facing an Oregon team that has lost 5 straight. For the Devils in Detail post-game show, I'm Hunter Robinson. Thanks for watching.